Well, good morning, everyone. This is an update on the corruption that's going on in the state of Idaho and the conclusion of Elaine and I's trip. Uh, Thursday, I was able to go up and talk to Mr. Zach that works up there somewhere in the governor's office. Went into a little conference room. There were a couple police officers there. That was fine. Uh, Showed them all the alterations. May we have those? And I said, oh, no, you can't have these copies. So where we're at is we're headed home. I think I was also able to accomplish a few things yesterday. Miss Rachel O'Barr from the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall. I was going to file charges yesterday, but we ran around trying to find the courthouse too long. So it didn't make it this trip. But you have my word, Miss Rachel O'Barr from the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall, and the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall as a whole, due to the fraud that you all committed in relation to some medical records, some medical release records. Now, did the commission look at these two documents? Clearly, they are altered because I just learned also in the last few weeks that I guess the commission is still making calls because I believe, even though that those were in my motion for stay of all proceedings, and because Steve used those to look into and sent them to the Industrial Commission, the same people that I'm appealing against based upon their fraud, altered documents, they reviewed them and said there's nothing wrong with them. But clearly, if you listen to, if you listen to a few things that I have, I mean, even the clerk of the court agreed that they were altered, or they were different. He didn't say the word altered because it is about how it's worded. So, Mr. Otter, governor of the state of Idaho, are you going to allow the Supreme Court to follow through with the Industrial Commission's findings of facts and conclusions of law and allow that to be posted and stand as it is, based upon the lies that I had to file my brief on Friday the 5th of April? I mean, how could I, as an injured worker that really didn't know the law of workers' compensation when I almost lost my life, is the Supreme Court even, to the Supreme Court, are you going to make your decision? Because I couldn't get an attorney because of Lynn Luker / legislator to help me on this. So I had to do it on my own and with what I found. And what I brought before your house, the big Capitol there that you stand behind, Mr. Governor, but is the Supreme Court going to make a decision on altered documents that this injured worker has clearly argued over the last 5 years? Because we know this isn't something that just happened overnight. It happened over time. And now that I've uncovered and have thought about a few things that I even uncovered just recently, because haven't I really been telling you guys? Every time I turn around, the longer you guys take, the more I'm finding. And isn't it really true that some of these, it was all set up? So after the hearing and Lynn Luker quit, some of this was already ready to be filed right away. Didn't think that I was going to make it this far. You thought I was going to take this $120,000 and run. But you see, it wasn't about money to me, now was it all? It was about me getting help that I needed, that you all clearly continued to deny. You denied me medicine that my doctors were prescribing. You cut them off on me to where I got hospitalized once. And then you all don't want to pay for the hospital bill because that hospital is where I had filed for my Social Security disability based upon my injury, which I was awarded based upon my injury. Even after Lynn Luker / legislator quit on me. That did file a few things on my behalf with Social Security disability, but the little cocksucker didn't want to put any of that in my paperwork. Wait, what's going on? What's truly going on, Mr. Lynn Luker / legislator? And I had just found out also that Thursday was your all's last day. Y'all better be lucky that that's when I discovered it. Because you see, I don't know how legislation worked because it wasn't what I had to do to make a living. I had to know. Because this is what this is all about. Is can I get continued treatment, medical care, for the psychological issues of this too, to try to move forward, based upon all this anger that I've got built up in me because of what you guys have done to me, because I can't make it work, and then the lies that you guys have posted. Isn't it true that I'm the one that called the police Friday? Had one there? Because you see, y'all keep wanting to call them. I just thought I'd bring my own yesterday. And how about it, Carol, there at the Supreme Court of the Clerk? Cat got your tongue when I didn't want you to do anything in regard to my paperwork. So all what I'm trying to do, well, it's not what I was trying to do. I did get this accomplished, didn't I? Idaho State Insurance Fund and the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall. And a lot of my handwritten documents prior to Lynn Luker, isn't it true that all that I've been wanting to do is move forward in my life, but you continue to deny that? Because I caught you guys in a bunch of corruption. So, you know, the Industrial Commission helps protect the insurance company. Lynn Luker comes in to help protect the Industrial Commission. And then the state comes in to help Lynn Luker, a legislator. And I got documents to back every single thing I have up. Because trust me, man, why would I be making statements about anybody? Because of what I've learned, you don't make statements about people if you don't expect it to come back and bite you on the ass. Because I'm telling you, you just didn't say shit about me, guys. You motherfuckers posted it on the fucking webpage. Isn't it true, Zach, that I showed you a document to prove that the Honorable Judge Douglas Donahue, who was refereeing my case, of my complaint. Isn't it, guys? It was my complaint, not my claim. Because nothing really happened, was going on until I filed my complaint, when you all tried to put me back to work in the manner you did. And then if you really look at the real pictures that I have of my arm, you know, somebody told me I should take pictures of my arm. I don't know why, but I did. And what is the magnitude of that now that I found out how important, very important those pictures are? It truly shows the total disregard of my life and my safety in the manner that I was put back to work by Miss Sandy Basket, who sits right over here right now in the Payette unemployment office, which I'm not allowed to step into because I could be arrested, because I've been sent a letter from the Mindy Montgomery, director of the commission, stating if I enter any building the commission occupies, I could be arrested. But isn't that every unemployment office also in the state of Idaho, because they do occupy every building in the state of Idaho? The unemployment office? I'm headed home today. The only thing that's left is oral argument. Do they really want to see me in oral argument? Because they don't have to call the cops. Because I already have a plan. Because you see, I just want to be heard. Isn't that all I've been saying? I will be heard, and I will be seen. Isn't that true in a lot of my filings? So, I feel that this trip, I truly have accomplished that. And I hope y'all take this serious now. Because I will be back. Because I'm going to tell you, to you all at the Supreme Court, those are altered documents that you're going to make your decision on. Because I can't get an attorney, because of Lynn Luker / legislator. Now that I have also found out a few other things, you know, just in the last couple of days. But I'm going to let you know, if anybody out there lives in Idaho, and when legislation starts, because obviously they're done, boy, did they get lucky out. Because it wasn't what I had to know to make a living. So, but I know the value of now knowing that legislation is open to the public in some ways. So I can't wait, Lynn Lugar. Lynn Lugar, because you really kind of have been left out of all this. But it won't be next time. Not next round. Next round, Lynn Lugar / legislator for the state of Idaho. It's your turn. It's your turn where my voice will be heard. Because it was heard Thursday for sure. It was heard yesterday. But this time I brought my own police officer. And they just didn't know what to do then. Because all what I've been wanting to do is be heard and have that respect that I am due. We're headed home. What I'm going to do when I get home? What am I going to do?
You got to clean the yard.
Oh. I'm going to clean the yard. Because I had to get out of the house one day, and I went outside and made a mess of it. It wasn't really a mess when I started, but, you know, cut down a tree, cut down some bushes, took it all out on the tree, cut that 20-foot tree down. Now it ain't no taller than I am, but hey, it's down, you know, and cut down some bushes. It looks like hell, but hey.
Yeah, you went to hell.
But so where we're at now is we're headed home. It's been a long 3 days. Money out of my pocket that I shouldn't have had to give.
Money out of mine.
Money out of both. Money out of hers, really. Because y'all know how much I'm only getting. Based upon this injury that Social Security's given me. Luckily, Lynn Lugar, the one that you were working on, but quit on me also? Come on, man. Call yourself a legislator? I call you nothing but a money-hungry, take advantage of injured workers because of the seat that you sit on. You know the value of these people's claims. You take them in, then you screw them out of it. Because they tell you everything that these people have done like I have. But as I have also filed in a September 5th. If they tried to do this to me, Mr. Donahue, and almost got away with it when they tried to put me back to work, how many innocent people have they done this to and actually got away with it? Well, you did do it on me, but have you got away with it yet? I'm going to tell you, the only way that I'm not going to be hurt anymore, I'm going to tell you, I truly hope nothing really happens to me. Right? Because, I do fear a little bit. But, when, at that time, at that defining moment in time, when my son goes, has to fight for my country, or Zachary, if he has to go fight, I'm sure we all have fear. But I have a lot of fear, man. But all I'm doing is trying to stand up for what I feel is right. And to show the altered documents. Because the commission's rulings are final. Believe that? Yeah. And then when you have a complaint, you file it against the commission, but you got to send that paperwork to the commission for them to make the decision on what paperwork that they want to send to the Supreme Court, because they're the ones that make the decision on what documents goes before the Supreme Court to be heard. Because you don't want to overwhelm the Supreme Court too much. That's how it works, guys. True. It don't make sense. But that's why laws need to be changed. And that's why there is so much lawless in America. Due to the corruption in our local governments. And all you doubters, they're on Bill Winson. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I am a believer in him. Because if it wasn't for Bill, that first hour video on my behalf it really opened my mind to the power that it can help me do. Even though I haven't had no news agencies knocking down my door, but I think it's all because they don't have the balls because of Lynn Luker. I don't know. I can't get an attorney, you know, but it's all right. Because I'm going to head home. We'll do some yard work. Y'all want to come take pictures like you did when I was taking the air conditioner out. But if you really look at it, everyone, it took me almost an hour to take out 32 screws from my left hand and try to take an air conditioner out of a tray that should have taken me maybe 10 minutes. It took me an hour, and I still gave up. And I didn't even know I was being videoed. Because I was doing it on my own because of my pride of a man, knowing that it's his job not to ask people for help, which I have a hard time accepting.
That's true.
You know, so we're going home, guys. You know, I stopped by, seen a couple of friends, seen my mom. Now, come think about it, Mr. You know, are you all going to pay my mom that I brought up to you all Thursday? How about you, Mr. Hall of the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall, who altered one of those documents to make it look like a letter was written prior and when it wasn't? Now, are you all going to, based upon the contract that you all wrote my 86-year-old mother, that you would pay her the transportation to take me to my surgery and back, and then to have it accomplished, and then you back out of it, and then you want to use my doctor in a wording. Well, in his deposition, do you believe that he needed it? Well, no, he didn't. Well, you know what? My doctor is not who I signed that contract with, that my pre-op contract with. It wasn't with him or his office. It was with the hospital. Why didn't you call the hospital up and ask their opinion? Isn't that why you're denying to pay my 86-year-old mother at that time? It's been 5 years, so I won't give her age out. You know, if she's on a fixed income, she's sitting over there, a little broke, because, you know, come on. You know, you guys took advantage of her twice on a contract. That's something I know right now. You can step up to the plate and accept and pay her. Mr. Law Firm Anderson, Julian Hall, and you, Mr. Hall, who had a document altered to make that document look like it was written prior, but it doesn't matter. You all did a contract that I had you all fax to me before I would let him do it, and it had to be set in place before surgery. You guys faxed me a letter and also mailed me a letter of a contract. My mother accomplished it twice. And then for you, Mr. Donahue, to not put him in your findings of facts, and it was part of my complaint in my first brief. Matter of fact, it's been really an issue throughout the whole thing since they did it, and since they screwed her on it, hasn't it? If you want to screw with me, that's fine, but you don't fuck with my mother like that, man. You order the money, pay it to her. I think she's should be entitled to some damages there too, which I will be trying to get for her also. Because this is one of those bills, because when you talk about bills, you don't really talk about which bills I'm trying to get paid for. But that's one of those bills. It's a bill because it was a contract. A contract that the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall put together and then didn't even pay my mom. But nobody really wants to step up to the plate for me to help me, my 86-year-old mother, who is a pioneer of the state of Idaho. And she has a plaque on the wall for it. And then you guys are going to treat your pioneer of Idaho like that? Mr. Otter, what the hell are you doing over there with your state? Here I listen to how you do all these good things. Do you talk about the things that you really take advantage of people on? Well, we're headed home. I think I've had my piece. And thank God I got that part out with my mom. Because again, I did finally stop by and see her this trip. I didn't the last trip. But I had other issues, huh? Because I don't have a life. Because you see, I won't have a life until you're out of my life. And when you're out of my life, I still won't have a life because I'm having to take care of all this fucking shit that you guys have put me through. The mental anguish of it all before I can even start on my true injury.